Greetings, 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 greetings. You're now tuned into Life is Poetic, hosted by myself, Poeticlee, Poeticlee. And I want to say thank you for tuning into This is Life is Poetic, as we have the impossible stories, the stories that we create through every emotion in life to succeed, to fail, to overcome, to thrive through our co-creation with life in our many ways that we want to express life. Life is poetic because of how we express ourselves. Life is poetic because of who we choose to be, and life is poetic because of how we choose to see. And with that being as not just a poet, but as a multifaceted creative myself in so many ways, I've learned that poetry moves in so many different ways that we express our life beyond just the words. So when I sit back and I really just observe life, and I'm really grateful for life, it reminds me of moments where I um I have to just realize the metaphors that life comes in, the different messages, the different symbols, the different signs, the different alignments that life places us to move with, places us to understand, places us to comprehend, places us to really evolve with. And so that's what this show is about. This show is not just a conversation with myself, but a conversation with others, a conversation with other creatives, a conversation with other entrepreneurs, a conversation with other artists, a conversation with other divine beings that have found a way and that are discovering a way and that are practicing a way and that are being real with the way with life and how they can see. This is my mission. This is my goal. This is my story. This is my moment. This is my time. And this is my poetry. This is my art. This is my expression. This is my style to life. Whether you like it or not, um whether it's in whatever phase it may be, life is poetic for us all, and I'm glad and I'm grateful to be here discuss these stories, to discuss these topics, to discuss these to discuss these artists and people that we interview, and not just interview but have these conversations with. So with that being said, you're gonna learn a lot about myself. You're gonna learn a lot about my journey. This episode right here, I'm from the 90s because I 93 till infinity, you know. Shout out to everybody that was born in the 90s, but specifically 1993. You feel me? That's when I landed to this planet and really started to really bloom from my seed. And so I'm from the 90s. That's one thing you learn about me. I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, born and raised. Excuse me if I rub my eye. You're watching this. The allergies just kicked in. And so, but also in honor of this episode being I'm from the 90s, the guest that we're going to have on here, our featured guest for this show is Aja Cobbs, the creator of not just her brand as the Art Trap House Experience, but also her new show that she's starting that we're going to get into with Motown Philly, Philly show in Philly. Oh, again, tongue tied. The Motown Philly show. But then also talking about how she thinks and how she moves as a businesswoman as well. These are the type of stories that we want to have because there's so many different creators, and I'm big on journalism. I'm big on being able to not just be able to tell my own story, but to see how can we tell other stories. How can we really just understand the many ways that we're all achieving success, that we're all learning the curves, learning the shifts, learning, especially during this time period, a time period like no other, where you're having to evolve through grace and not through the pace that was previously programmed for us to move at. If you understand what I'm saying, there was a previous program for us to move at that necessarily didn't fit the best well-being of our pace. It didn't fit the best well-being. The reason I say it is because of how capitalistic society works. And so we're going to have those conversations, and we're going to talk about it in interesting ways that can make maybe begin to reshape and reform how we work within the system. It maybe begin to reshape and reform how we begin to think of ourselves as artists and entrepreneurs, compared to an older system where it was pretty much like a chain. It was pretty much programmed in how we move. We're gonna learn new ways on how we can do things with a little different grace and a little different with our own flavor and style. So that's what you learn with being poetic with life, is learning how to not necessarily always go against the grain, though you're gonna go against the grain because that's just part of when you're when you're drawing out the canvas, at some point you're gonna go against the grain. So sometimes you're gonna flow with the lines, and sometimes you're gonna go against the grain. That is the art form that we live life through. So without further ado, I want to allow you to enjoy this episode. We're gonna have more episodes where we dive into each other more, where you're gonna hear more of me solo dolo. However, this is the beginning of a beautiful role with Life is Poetic, hosted by myself, Poetically, Poeticlee, and this is a special presentation that you can hear on poetically.com, the audio version, and you can watch on YouTube, Poetically, my channel. And I look forward to seeing how this benefits you, because I know it's definitely a therapy for myself. All right. Thank you. And I hope you enjoy. Hey, well, first off, we match every energies because when's your birthday?
March 31st.
Come on, which
Aries
is
gang.
Aries gang, Aries gang,
Aries
Aries gang.
gang.
All right, so you said conversation. So let's do this proper. Let's do this proper. Let's do this
Okay.
proper. Because you are Aja Cobbs. You are when we talk about the trap art like
The Art
experience,
Trap House.
the art trap house, excuse me, the art
Yes.
trap house experience. But then we just talk about before I don't even want to I want to do this different because we've talked, and this is gonna be us talking really just understanding not just business mind, because there's some things about you that I know that is some of your secret sauce, but
Yeah.
also too just in the sense of just being a creative in this time period like no other, like really having to showcase who you are, really having to go, really having to do it, really having to like put 10 toes down to it.
Mhm.
How do you find time to keep a smile? How do you find time to like laugh? What are you laughing about right now?
Well, because I'm happy. Because like what I do makes me happy. Like it is hard work, and like I literally pound the pavement, of course. But I feel like that comes with the territory. So I'm gonna be busy and stuff like that. But like I have so many things to be thankful for, such as like my family, my
Mm,
friends, um, people that I work with, like the Art Trap House, just in general, the gifts of having hands that create, a mind that creates, and amazing people around me that just support me. So if you're not smiling at that, like, you know, you
yeah.
got you got your priorities not in line.
So you have a lot of you have a lot of gratitude right now.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Because what is given can be taken.
Mm.
So I just feel like I want to like delve into like every blessing that I have right now, cuz like tomorrow it can be gone.
Right.
And like while I have it, I want to be all up in it. Like I'm
What's
trying
the
to be all
last
up in
thing?
it.
What's the last thing you took for granted that you like, and it kind of really took you? It gave you a lesson. If there has been something that you took, like most recently,
COVID.
oh really?
Yes, because it's like, well, it took a lot of people, and then it took some of the time of our lives. You know what I'm saying? And so it was
Right.
just like having the freedom to host shows and be able to go out to clubs and, do all of that stuff. And then when COVID came, like it literally stopped. And so I took having my freedom for granted, I guess.
Mm.
And I was pretty sad about not being able to host.
Having so the first event that you did back from COVID, which one was that?
The first event that I did was my solo art show called Water Ice.
Right.
And I would not even really say that was an official event for the Art Trap House. Like this Motown Philly back again is like the first official event for the
Mm.
Art Trap House coming back post COVID.
So the ice when you putting together that event and you're getting yourself together, like you're thinking, is there a level of new anxiety? Like, okay, I'm back into it, like new, or it's just like, were you able to do some things, or like just were some things? Obviously, some things were just back in your touch, like just when you're doing it, it's back. It's just muscle memory. But was there any anxiety or any that you had to just brush off?
Well, yeah, I think that anxiety happens just all the time when you start a new project because you're kind of
Okay.
stepping into the unknown. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
like when you're in the unknown, you're looking for answers. And I know I'm always looking for answers, especially
Right.
when I don't understand something, but I also do have a lot of experience with events. And then the good thing about COVID, though, because I always try to look on the bright side, you know what I'm saying? Because who wants to be a negative Nancy? So I
Right.
just kind of look on the bright side and basically was like, during this time of COVID, I can learn, I can network, I can do
Mhm.
all of these amazing things. And then when it comes time to hosting an event again, I'll be ready and I can apply my new knowledge. And so, yeah, like I really try to keep everything super positive. Like I rebuke and denounce anything that's like negative around
Out
me.
of
Like
here.
I really try to find the positive in all of it. What, I just try to pull it out like
Yeah,
best I can.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So, this is Life is Poetic, and this show, Life is Poetic, is really gets in just to the nuances of life and how we create life and how we move with life. Because for me, it's not just as just a poet and an artist, like life is poetry. Like life is so poetic and how it speaks. You're a visual artist, but still I consider you a poet and how you create your art. So like when you create that visual, it can still they say a picture tells 1,000 words. Well, your art can tell so many more words than that because of how you create. Even with this Motown Philly show, this is art right here. Like how you're creating this, how you curate. So what was the inspiration behind this theme? Obviously, we see your background in the wall. Like, what was just the motivation behind this theme?
well, my roots are very deep in Philadelphia. My dad is from
Mhm.
Philly. My family lives in Philly. Shout out to Philly. I lived in Philly for a little while when I was younger, but
Hey,
like my grandmother, grandfather, everybody was there. So we were always in Philly, and Philly is just a huge part of me. And I always go back to Philly to show love. But if you know the famous group Boys to Men, they have the
mhm.
Motown Philly song, and it's Motown Philly back again, which is the lyrics to the song. And I just felt like, okay, it's Motown Philly vibes, 90 vibes, and then we're back again, since COVID. So I just felt like that really like went together, and I thought that was a really catchy name. And as far as like the artwork for it, my boy Delinda Arts, we've been working together on the Art Trap House project. Well, he works like with my visuals and stuff like that, and he really killed that piece. He really killed that flyer. Like, love it so much, and I just feel like it's just so fitting to the '90s. It's like urban, but '90s.
Yeah. What did
So
Pops think?
my dad, he loves it.
Yeah.
He's really excited about the show. Yeah. I always ask him, I'm like, what were y'all wearing in the 90s? Let me look at
Right,
y'all's
right, right.
pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see what y'all doing. But he's really like, he loves it and he's proud. So
Yeah, I was gonna ask, was there any pointer? What was some of the pointers and what was some of the kind of like notes you took from asking from him? Like, okay, can you give me some tips here, some idea, like just being able to breathe in and channel some of that history of him living through that time.
yeah, he always tells me about like parties that he used to throw at his
Yeah.
mom's house and like how he wasn't supposed to throw them and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, we just have conversations, but like when it comes to like the creativity and stuff, he really just lets me like have that. Like he doesn't really say anything to me unless I ask.
Mm,
But I'm more so just like I'll just like find something and I'll like pinpoint that and then I'll like go into it myself. You know what I'm saying?
got you.
Because like I feel like Motown Philly, yes, it's a Philly show, but it's in Philly and that's how I honor Philly. But it's also a 90s party in general. And like the whole world, was involved in the 90s. So it's more than just Philly. Cause like, yeah, Philly has a vibe for like how they dressed in the 90s. But if you're coming and you're not from Philly, like I want you to dress how you dress from where you from,
Okay.
Like I just
Okay.
want the whole 90s vibe. So like Philly, that's how I kind of cater to Philly, just having the event in that general area, naming it Motown Philly. But then as far as like the event as itself, I want it to be like just pick up on all 90s vibes from
Right,
everywhere.
right, right. All right. So with this, just for those that may just be getting to understand who Aja Cobbs is, this all around creative. Did you do your own hair?
Yes.
Oh, come on. See, like, come on, come on. Let me just throw you the alley. Let me just throw you the alley. Like, come. What are we talking about? All right, you doing this hair? What was the playlist? What you listen to while you doing your hair?
Mm. So I was listening to Breezy,
Okay.
um, CAB, that's called Catch Your Body. Of course, I'm listening to
Yeah,
Fabio Foreign, What's My Name.
that's a good one.
I'm listening to Burna Boy.
Oh, okay.
I'm
The new
listening
album?
to, huh?
The new
Yeah,
album?
new album.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Um, let's see. I mean, I'm listening to. I mean, I always keep Roddy Ricch on my playlist. I really enjoy his music and his vibe.
Okay.
Of course, some Beyonce. You know, she has her new single out, "Break My Soul." But I've actually really just started listening to one of the artists that's in the show, and I really like his music. And he's
Ooh.
from Fayetteville, and he has a really nice body of work. So I listen to some of that too, just to like catch his vibe
Okay, who
a
is that?
little more. But his name is Sauce G.
Sauce G. Let's go. Okay.
Yeah, and
So
he's gonna be the only performing artist in Philadelphia, which I really like that. He's really good. I really want y'all to like check him out, and I cannot wait till y'all get to see him at the show for real.
what is Asia? What is like an event tastemaker, event curator, tastemaker, creative? What do you look for in artists to when it comes to being featured in your shows? Or what's something that stood out? Just not with him, but just any artist in general.
Well, I always try to look for people who are passionate
Okay.
because I can gravitate to people who are passionate, who I see like are not giving up and like who will take the time to work three jobs and run their social media and paint or
Yeah.
create or whatever it is, like travel, whatever it is. So I want those people a part of my event because if you're just kind of sitting there, kind of half doing it, like how are you going to be, how are you helping yourself and how are you helping, move
Mm,
this event along, And so I feel like I get artists who want to be a part of the business and who want to be in the industry. So I like very clean work. I like passionate work. I like
mm.
people to, just push it out into the community and have that confidence. So I look for confidence too. And
Confident.
I look for people who want it. If you
Ooh,
want it, I got it. I'll give it to you.
okay, okay. So with that confidence, right? There are these times we have these like moments where we have to think outside the box, and it's like we have to be confident with how we think outside the box. Was there anything particular with this where you had to really think outside the box with obviously creating the show and creating the concept, but what were some of the things that you really thought outside the box with?
Hmm. Um, the content creation and actually just how I approach the situation as a whole. Like I felt like I was like, I don't want to do what I did for my past shows that didn't work. So thinking outside of the box is like, how do I create different content with the same content that I had from 70 years ago? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just kind of like, you got to think outside of the box to recreate and renew and revamp and stuff like that. So thinking outside of the box with marketing and
Mm,
maybe putting up shows to bring back that nostalgic vibe and 90's music and stuff
right.
like that, and just really like let the before the show be an actual experience before the
Mm,
event. So that's how I like to think outside of the box, is like, well, if you can't come to the show, at least you had the experience to watch me for these couple of months um, promote this show, and you can go and you can kind of catch the
mm,
vibe,
mm.
even if you can't be there. So
Would you, is streaming going to be like when it's something when you're doing the future with your events?
streaming, like live
Yeah,
streams,
like live streaming. Yeah.
um I kind of don't want to do live streams
Okay.
because I want you there.
Got you.
And I know people are like back at home and they want to see, but
Yeah.
I also like to have very crisp content and very intentional content. So that's kind of how I don't like to live stream too
And that
much.
makes sense. That brings more value into what you're doing. And again, like you said, people being there in the place. Um, with there's so many different things that go on with putting on an event. There's so many different things that you run into. People that listen to this, whether if you've curated your own event or just been a part of working with a team that's this, with so many intricate parts. So whether with this particular project or any project, have you ever, I guess, a moment, a situation where you had to be very innovative to figure out something, a situation that could have been frustrating, but your innovative thinking allowed you to clear through that frustration in that situation? Because you're an
So
innovative thing
like, yes, and I'm very quick on my feet.
and you're a problem
Um,
solver.
yes, very much. I like to fix it if I can.
Yeah.
But I think with COVID, like we were planning so many shows,
Mm,
and then COVID hit. And so now I'm like, okay, crap, like what am I gonna do with these artists who have signed up for this show, blah blah blah. Like I still want to serve them, or just be able to work with them in some type of way, because they've already paid to be in the show. Like we were going to be hosting a monthly show in Philadelphia,
Mm,
with just like artists and stuff. You can come from out of town or you can come from Philly, whatever it is. If you can catch the show, let's do it.
right.
Um, COVID came and I was like, dang, I don't know what to do. So I created a show called Live from Philly. Do you remember that show?
Hmm.
Okay, I created Live from
Yeah.
Philly, and then interviewing we started interviewing the artists that was in the show, and then people was like, again, like how I created the art trap house, it was like, you cannot stop this, like
Right.
please don't stop this. So then the girl, she was actually based in Philly, who was hosting the show for me, because I was like in the background writing them and stuff like that,
Right.
and booking the interviews with the rest of my team. So she was unable to do the show anymore, so I was like, dang, like I don't have a representative in Philly anymore, I gotta change
Mm,
this name to a more general name. So my best friend from like kindergarten, well, preschool, actually preschool, she sent me this like this dope picture of like some edits that she does, because she does edits in Atlanta,
right.
like graphics and stuff. And it said the hood dealer. And then I was like, that's kind of cool. But then I was like, let's just X that and then put the good dealer. And I was like, I'm gonna create
Right.
the good dealer podcast.
Right.
And so I had to hurry up and think of a name. I had to hurry up and think, just like really get this thing going. So I feel like that was a way that I was very innovative and quick on my feet, and
Mm,
just keeping my business fresh and bringing new ideas to the table. So um, yeah, I'm always very quick. I sometimes feel like it's a Kanye line, but I think better than you ever thought of.
mm.
Yeah, than you
Speak
could ever
okay,
think. Yeah,
like,
I
but
think that's the line. Say it again. What we
oh,
saying?
well, speak on rebranding yourself, like rebranding ourselves as artists and creatives and entrepreneurs and business. It's something that you really have to have a lot of courage for, and you really have to know who you are. Speak on rebranding yourself and the rebranding process. What does that look like from when you have to think of when you're going through like that situation? You looked at, all right, this is something you already do. It matches with your audience and it matches with where you're going with your business. What are
hmm
some things you look at for yourself when you're rebranding, a product, a service? What are some things you look at when that rebranding process?
Well, of course, you want to go back to your old footage and your old highlight tapes and stuff like that. And you can kind of dissect it to see what you did wrong, what elements can you bring to the now, what should you leave behind, what have you learned. And then you can just kind of, with your new, like, there's always new edits coming out for
Right,
TikTok and all that stuff. So it's just like, it just makes it so easy, and it's like
right.
right there. So you can just, to be honest, I just try different things. And as an artist, people don't know when you're like messing up, or they don't know. So it's
Yeah.
just, it's just like fun. Like either you like it or you don't, but it's whatever because it's mine. But you know, um, people don't know.
All
They
right.
don't know.
They don't know. So you're in your own field, you're in your own, just like you're your own seed that's been planted and blooming. What plant would you describe your artistic process?
Hmm.
What plant is Asia? Her artistic
Ooh.
dun 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 dun. Hmm.
I am a plant mom, by the way, so I should
So we
know.
know.
Yeah. Let's see. I feel like I want to say I would be a lily, a
Ooh, okay.
tiger lily.
Tiger lily.
Yeah, a tiger lily. They're orange and they smell sweet and they're beautiful. And I feel like I love lilies in general. Like the
Right.
Easter lily, they're just beautiful. They smell sweet. They're just like different colors, and um, they're seasonal. But I mean, I just love them. You know, I just like that flower.
Being so a tiger lily, you say, right?
hmm
Tiger lily. Is this a plant that you had that you is this one maybe one of your is this one of your babies?
we have I think Easter lilies in our
Ooh,
front yard,
okay.
and there's a lot of them. but they like died off so quick. But they were smelling so good, like they smell like perfume. And I'm like a person who likes to smell
Yeah,
good, and like if that was a scent that they put in a perfume, I would have that scent. I would wear that
really.
scent.
So
Yeah.
what's the aroma gonna be like at Motown Philly show? What's the aroma gonna be?
I don't know. I mean, y'all got to come with your best swag. I don't know what you might. I don't know what you're gonna be wearing. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I know that. Well, there's gonna be food, so you might be
Okay.
smelling some food. We're gonna
Yeah,
have water ice again. We're gonna
okay.
have drinks and stuff like that. So it might be a lot of aromas. I don't know. I'm
Got you.
scared. I'm scared now you say that. Just
uh,
it's summer, y'all. Just
it's summer.
it's
Chill,
summer.
y'all. Chill.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's with you being in this, I mean, ooh, let's talk about real quick. I just want to go. I just want to. Oh no, I have to salute you. I have to salute you. Obviously, this is not just an interview; it's a conversation. But I want to salute you real quick because it's 2022.
Hmm.
I have been observing you doing what you do, like since 2016.
Hmm. That's when I started.
Dang, really?
Yeah, that's literally when I started in 2016. I had my first show July 17th at the Saatchi Enterprise in Charlotte, North Carolina.
So that's what, yeah. So that I heard about that. I was out of town, but I heard about it. I'm like, what is this event? This is fire. This is fire. So okay, here we are, 6 years. Am I doing the math right? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
doing the math right. six
yeah.
years.
Think so,
Six
right?
years. What is, I mean, 6 years, it's like, I mean, I get, and technically we don't really, do we even count as 6 years? Because 2 years, COVID, maybe.
Right.
So
Well, I still was operating.
yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
So
absolutely, absolutely. So,
the trap don't close.
come on, the
Like
child don't stop.
the trap don't. No, it's always open. We always open. It's 24 hours.
Right. So with you being um not just the leader that you are, just like the person that has to orchestrate so many moving parts, what are some ways that you inspire the people around you to be creative and innovative and to think on that next level? What are some ways that you may talk to people, or what is your method of charm to get people to?
I tell people that you can do it. I get so upset when people don't think that they can do something because they give themselves excuses. Like they just feel like this person is beating me. They look at everybody as competition, and I'm like, you run your own race, boo.
Mm,
Like this is all about you. This is not about me. And whatever decisions that you make it for you. And if I inspire you to create and inspire you to keep going, then I love that. But I'm also going to be on your head like, get up,
yeah.
stand up. Like it's time. And I can only tell you, I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make him drink.
Mm,
And so I'm pretty stern on that. A lot of people, some people like it, some people don't. I don't really know, but I feel like that's some of the ways that I inspire people is that I just don't take no crap.
yeah.
Like I don't like excuses, none of that, you
Yeah.
know? And people always like, I don't know, people just get comfortable.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I never get comfortable. I'm like, I gotta go get it. Like I'm hungry. I'm like, this is cute, but
It's more,
I
it's
need,
levels, it's
like,
levels,
yeah,
it's
like,
levels, it's levels. You see it, you feel it, you know it, and you take pride in it. So as we wrap it up, just talking about this event and just talking about you as a creative and just entrepreneur, I'm gonna keep saying that because this thing, titles, yeah, titles are titles, whatever people want to. You are just, you're a divine being, you're a human being. You have your just ability to, the fact that you can create, that is, that's beyond where we even talking about. Like whatever that takes and whatever special sauce you have, like it's clear. So I'm gonna just keep saying some of these things just so people can understand how many facets we're talking about right here. um I you I guess you're gonna say this is your most creative project that you've curated, right? Or is
hmm.
this
I really like this show. And until I see the finished product, because I'm
okay?
still creating it,
Okay.
I I don't know. I try to like one up projects, but then sometimes I go back and I'm like, wow, that was a really good one, you know? So I don't know. I want to say it's gonna be my best,
Okay,
of
so
course.
it's right. It's going to be your best. What's been your most creative project? Project overall, your most creative project could be anything you pick it. Show, event, art. It could be whatever. What's been your most creative project?
To
And
be
how was
honest,
it?
my most creative project was that Heat mixtape that I was gonna drop, but I ended up. Do you remember? She's like the icon on my
Yes.
Instagram, and that was my, like, to me, my most creative project ever. But I ended up
That
getting
was
bit
fire. You were gonna put that out this past winter, right?
summer, summer,
The summer. Okay.
yeah, last summer, and I had ended up getting bitten by a dog and out, and it was just like I just could not get the momentum and get, everything like going. I had lost so much time because I was like, I can't do nothing with my arm, you know
What?
what I'm saying, like, and everybody was just like, you cannot work right now, like, you need to heal.
Oh
And I
wow.
was just like losing time, losing money. But anyways, I felt like that was my most creative project because I had written a whole like short web series for artists, and it was like a contest, and they got to come on kind of like this, and they got to like freestyle. We was gonna have
Oh
like a
wow.
DJ, and it was all
Yeah.
during COVID because we couldn't do nothing.
Right. Right. Right.
And it just never got to come to fruition. I mean, and I didn't think my prices was high because I feel like what I do is really, really, I do a really great job with producing and just like quality and stuff like that. But
Right.
and then I felt like what was in the package was actually really good too. But you know, maybe I'll try again next summer.
Okay.
We'll revamp it. But that I felt like that was my most creative
All
project.
right. Well, I'm gonna say this. You revamping it, sending it through, because poetically has to be on that Heat project. It ain't even about cost. It's about, it comes down for me. It comes down to just like vision. It comes down to creativity, like you say. Um, you being able to curate that, like musically and sonically, it's just amazing. I'm just saying this like, and I mean, we in live act, like, we're just in live motion right here, and I'm just observing. I'm just soaking in how much, like, you know where you are, you see wherever you going, and it's just so
Hmm.
amazing because I love seeing people put these different parts together, the music, the events, like you being able to curate that. Oh my gosh. And then you also being able to step out and let artists know how to show artists how to network, show artists how to communicate for themselves, be able to speak up for themselves, be able to assert themselves. This is important. Last question is, if you could travel anywhere and put on a show and you have two acts, where's the location? Who are the two acts?
Going to Paris,
Okay. I already
and
know the acts.
you know the ex
Nah, go ahead.
who.
Who the acts? Who the
I
acts?
don't know.
We're in
If I
Paris.
had to pick, well, I took French, and I tried to go to school. Well, I didn't. I went to school for fashion design, and I took French because I always wanted to go to Paris
Okay.
and do fashion there. At the Paris Fashion Week and stuff like
Right.
that. But two acts that I might have there. Hmm.
Mm,
Chris Brown.
of course. Okay.
He's like the ultimate creator
Yeah.
in all facets, and then maybe an artist, if I could bring back Basquiat, I would have Basquiat. Those would be my acts. Because I
That's
want
a,
a stage and I
yeah.
need a visual. And if
Oh,
they collab and he did some crazy art for his, you know, stage or whatever, that
yeah.
would be crazy. Like, that would
Boy.
be crazy. So I think that would be a dope collab.
No, that's super fire. See how your mind just, you see how you just put it together and explained it right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, I can't help it. I like it here.
It's not, you got it. It's second nature. It's second nature. It's second nature. So, hey Arnold or Doug.
Why would you do that? Dang.
Hey, this the 90's. This the nice. This is you got. I'm going. I'm not. I can't do a whole field of 64. I got to go straight to the final four. Hey Arnold, Doug. That's what
Dang,
we start for. We straight at the final four. Boom.
man. It's either banging on a trash can or Helga saying that the dude smell like milk. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Hey Arnold.
Ooh,
But I
hey
love
Arnold
Doug.
over Doug. Okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. All right, because this did
Just
come
because Hey
out.
Arnold had that crazy intro.
That's true, and that's why that you know what that is why you got to give it to Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold had the classic intro. Doug
And
is cool.
Gerald.
Mm. And he had like the best room ever. Like I wanted that room so bad. Oh my gosh, what a room with a view like that. Hey, yo, Arnold low key was living that life on a
He
high.
really
Actually,
was.
actually, it wasn't even low
Yeah.
key. Everybody was outside his window.
Mm-hmm. They used to be on the stoop, boy. I used to love it. Like it was like at first I did not like Hey Arnold, but like I've grown to respect it. Now I'm like, yeah, that was nice. That was
All
nice.
right, so this may not be the final four. This may be like the elite eight. We'll
Okay.
see.
Okay.
Courage, the Cowardly Dog,
Mm-hmm.
or Pinky in the Brain.
How are you so good at this?
Come on now, I'm not. I told you we going straight to
Courage.
courage over the.
I know they want to take over the world, but it's just like courage. I just want to say courage actually really scared me as a kid. And so if
It
you
did
can
right.
really like creep me out like that, I gotta give it to you.
Wiggity, wiggity, wiggity,
Yeah.
wiggity.
And I used to be so scared. Like, why come on late? Mm-mm. Yeah,
Yo, that stuff. They knew it was
for real.
nothing. Like I look back at, I had a low key. I had it was like a year ago. I said, let me go back. It was during COVID, and
Mm-hmm.
it was some time during COVID. Well, I'm like, look, I got some time. Let me go back
Mm-hmm.
and watch some Courage the Cowardly. I was like, yo, this really kind of like spooked me a little bit.
I thought it was crazy. I thought it was scary. I used to be scared of courage. Like, and they lived out there in the scary, like just like field house, the grandma, the grandpa.
Yeah. All right, so if you've been tight at me for the past couple ones, you might really be tight at me at this one. But I gotta
Okay.
ask. All right,
Okay.
Powerpuff Girls
Mm-hmm.
or Rugrats?
I'm about to get up and leave. Dang it.
Yeah, yeah. This one really,
Stop,
yeah.
man.
Now we get to really see what you made up. What you really made up now? What you really
I'm
gonna
weak
do?
and I need to stand up.
What you really gonna do? How you really going? Who is Asia? We really get to see now who really is Asia. Mm,
Dang, man. You
she's a
really,
fraud. She's a fraud. She's a fraud.
but you know who I'm going to go with. You know who I'm going with.
Why?
Rugrats all day.
Okay,
Gotta go with Rugrats.
I
We
figure
got
so. I
Cynthia.
figure so.
Cynthia. We got Chucky. We got Tommy. Dill. Pickle. Uh-huh. Phil and Lil. Yeah, all of that. Angelica. Susie.
All right. Yeah, that's why
But
I he is Rugrats.
I did used to be Buttercup from
You definitely like
Powerpuff Girls. So yeah.
Buttercup.
I give Buttercup vibes.
You definitely give Buttercup. All right. So, oh, this is perfect then. Speaking of Buttercups, if we're gonna stick with the 90's, like in the 90's, watching cartoons, I always used to love like candy, especially
Mm-hmm.
chocolate. So if you feel where I'm about to go with this, Reese Buttercups,
Mm-hmm.
Reese, the cups, you get two of them, chocolate,
Mm-hmm.
peanut butter, fresh out. And if you mess around, get the king size.
Oh boy. You
Oh,
got pho? Pho
God.
on deck? Oh
That's a
boy.
cavity. That's a cavity in the making. All right, so Reese's
Definitely.
Buttercup or Skittles.
Reese's Buttercup.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm more if I have to go for sweets, I'm gonna go chocolate. But I have to be feeling sometimes that other kind of candy. Like I gotta be in the mood for it because I'm not too much of a sweet person. But if I can kill a Reese's and put it in the freezer, that's what's gonna happen. Oh my!
Kill a Reese's and put it in the freezer. That
You
sounds.
never done that?
I'll be real. I'll be eating the chocolate right then and there. I get it over with right there. I'm not really waiting.
Oh man,
I'm not really
you gotta put your Snickers in the freezer. Put your Buttercup, your Reese's Buttercup in the freezer.
So wait, you put the Snickers in the freezer, and then how long do you eat it? Like how long
You
you
could get it the next day, but it just gives you that like extra like crunch.
crisp?
It's just like
Mm.
yeah, and it's not so like it's like, you know?
Yeah, okay, just like that.
Yeah.
First off,
So
let's see the
yeah.
nails real quick. We just seen a glimpse of the nails.
Oh, nail cam.
Yeah, come on now. Let's get that
Oh,
working.
we got the yin. We got the yin and yang.
Oh, with the
Nail
rhinestone
cam.
on it?
Yeah.
Come on now. Wait, how you gonna be working? What you gonna do for the nail game for the show?
So it's definitely giving Baps to me. I might give Baps, but I'm definitely gonna do like, I don't know. I'm gonna do some long nails.
Okay. Okay, long.
And
What color?
they might be gold.
Gold. Ooh.
Yeah. And I might just have a gold pinky ring, a
Ooh.
gold pinky finger, and then some pinky rings. I'm trying to get real nasty with this outfit.
You
Like I
gotta
really
do
want like
rhinestones on the pinky then.
right.
And
Oh,
the pinky gotta be long.
long and pointy.
Come on now.
I
Like
think I can. I think I can make that happen.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
90s vibe, 90s vibe. All right. Corduroy.
Ooh, chords. Mm-hmm. Or
Corduroy. Remember corduroy? Or
absolutely.
corduroy or overalls.
Damn. Corduroy overalls. If I gotta go.
Oh,
For real, like
both.
that's a hot ass outfit, and I like that.
It is. That was the vibe back then.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I had
corduroy.
some purple ones and brown ones.
What kind of hat did you go with it?
Um,
Because you had to have a hat with that. Yeah, I know you had the
Probably
little,
like a little Kango hat.
yeah, the king.
Or yeah, like it wasn't even dad hats for me back then. Definitely like a
Nah,
little Kango
it
hat.
was the Kango.
Or what other little hats did I wear? Either that or I just had like braids or ponies. Or bantu knots.
Oh, yeah.
I used to get my hair twisted in the front. This was a style. Twisted in the front with the knots in the back. Remember that?
Yo,
Like
okay.
little flat rope twist. And then
Man,
you just put a knot right there.
it's like it feels like
All
a
knots.
whole nother. I ain't gonna lie. Dang, I'm glad we having this like combo, and I'm glad you bringing it back because it feel like forever. It feel like a whole nother lifetime ago. I'm trying to think back to some things like, all right, Saturday morning cartoons, or this might be easy though. Saturday morning cartoons or Friday night blockbuster.
To go to Blockbuster, by the way, I have a Blockbuster card in my wallet right now.
No, you
No
don't.
lie. I promise.
You lied.
I promise you. I promise you. I have a Blockbuster
How did
card.
you make your own
And
blockbuster card?
I didn't make it. It's like from the 90's. Like I kept it. And I have like a phone that I kept too. Like
Wait,
I keep like
hold on. Be still, real quick. Be still. I want to see if your video will catch up. I don't know. Somehow it just like it went kind of like started lagging.
oh,
All right,
okay.
say something now.
Are we back?
Okay, we
Testing.
good now. Yeah, we good. We good. We good. All right, cool.
Okay, it's probably me over here moving and shit. But I like try to keep all my vintage things because I'm like a collector of things that I feel like are dope. And
Right.
like once I see that it's getting like I'm like, all right, I've used this too much or I've worn this too much, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
stop right here because I need to keep this. Cause like I'm like, dang, I wish my mama would have kept some of her clothes from the 80's and 90's.
Right.
So
Right.
I want to do that for my kids. Like I want my kids to be able to experience a
Does that era
nostalgic piece
have?
of
But does that era is
something.
there in this era right now? And maybe I could be just a victim of the moment. Do we have a signature look that like we can say to our kids like, oh, this was the 2010s. This was maybe like the early 2000s, the Jersey era, you know. But I don't know right now. What what you see?
Right now I feel like life's a little bit superficial as in like outer appearance
Right, right,
because
right.
it's changed a lot. You know, I don't mind that people get their bodies done, but that is just something that's like what's happening right now. You
Okay.
know, but I think like right now over the years, like it's been sounds for me. So sounds as far as music and the types of music. Like if you go back to 2016, you can hear songs like boom, like, oh, that is so 2016. Like that was like a prime year. And
Betty
then
White.
as you go up, like you
Yeah,
hear like right now, um, oh Lord, what is that music called?
the drill.
Thank you. Drill music. Right now, like it's the sounds, you know what I'm saying? And it sounds for everything. It sounds on TikTok. It sounds, and so like right now we're definitely in the realm of truly being content creators. So that's going to be something that, you know, my mom was a content creator. My mom was an influencer. My dad, da da da. My dad had a podcast. Like, this is that time for us. So, everybody wants to look their best. Everybody's kind of like, they understand from the past, like, oh, well, they had a natural body, but I can make these types of adjustments and stay like this for 60 years. And, you know, there
Yeah.
we go. Like, I've invested in my body, and you know, I can just keep it up like that. So I feel like people are honestly work smarter, not harder right now.
That is so true. That is so true. 90s vibe. I already asked Blockbuster. What's your favorite 90s memory?
Um, Making little mixtapes from the radio, like dubbing tapes.
Yo, right. This is a
Yeah,
rap. The fact that she says you do, yo, that's what's up.
yeah. Definitely used to be like on the radio, like, oh, and that NSYNC song coming out.
With the cassette.
And my grandma, like, so my grandma don't she used to love Sam's Club. So she used to like
Yo,
buy cassette tapes at Sam's Club. She used to put like $2 inside of it, and then she used to get like those big packs of muffins from Sam's Club. So she used to give us a tape with $2 in it and one of those muffins. And boy, I used to be like, yes, a blank tape, like a blank tape. Like, I'm going to make me a new tape. The radio, yes. Like, try not to get the talking in front of it. Yeah.
yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I have not run into anybody else that did that. So that's what's up. That's what's up. Like
Also, I have one more memory. My dad had 5 girls, and when the Lauryn Hill, what is it? What is her?
miseducation.
Yes, Miss Education. Like, he
Hmm.
bought all of, like, everybody in the house had their own tape of that. He bought everybody their own tape. Like, he was like, I'm not about to play with these girls. Like, they not about to be fighting over this. Like, we all got that tape. But I was the
Oh,
one that was most into it, and I had my Walkman. Like, I'm the creative of my sisters.
yeah,
All
yeah,
my sisters are creatives, but they're like in the nursing field, and I'm the only eyeball.
yeah. Yeah, like true.
So
Just this
yeah.
is what you do.
And I've done it since birth, for real.
Word, word.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather if someone commissions you to do a painting from the 90s, right? Or not even painting, just a whole visual creation, whatever that is, because I can't just say no paint with you. Like you did some innovative stuff with the way you did the Migos and some other pieces I've seen too.
Mhm.
Um, so if someone commissions you to do a whole visual artistic presentation, you get to pick one character. One character can be or just one just yeah, character, movie, show. You can throw music in there. But what's the one that you would just do this whole visual expression presentation in honor of this person, a person being character from the 90s?
Well, I know you want to like say character, but like Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah, that's a
I don't know if that counts,
okay,
but
no, that
I
works.
would definitely do like a whole series on them. Like, I did one series or one painting for my water ice show of Ed, Ed, and Eddie, and they were like in the shopping cart, and they were like going like all crazy, just trying to get jawbreakers. And I just liked how they was all three cool. They
Yeah.
all had, you know, the same name, like, and they all had different personalities, but they was always on a mission to get jawbreakers. And I always wanted a jawbreaker. Like, that show made me want a jawbreaker.
Always wanted a jawbreaker. Well, I was like, a jawbreaker's gonna really be that big, first off. And then I
Right.
never seen a jawbreaker until that show. And then after I was like, I
Hmm.
gotta find a jawbreaker.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, this little one at school, like, this is not Ed and Eddie
No,
style.
no,
Like,
no.
need edited Ed and Eddie. Like, Ed and Eddie can't talk. But like, finally, I found the big one, and I was like, now that I think about it, I'm like, this is so gross. Like,
It is.
well,
It really is. Wait, what flavor?
it was like all the flavors. Like, you could like lick it until it like got to the red, and
Oh no,
then
that's
it would
wild.
get to the yellow, and then go to the blue, and then go to the orange. Like, but the outside of it would be white, and then it would have like all those paint splatters on or like splatters of color on it. Those
Yeah.
were the jawbreakers out, and they were pretty big. And I'm like, gross. And I used to be obsessed with those spiral lollipops,
You look
the
like
big
that would
ones.
be your bag.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
That
And those
is
watermelon lollipops too.
you don't look
You
like
remember
you eat
those?
yeah, the watermelon, yeah, but what a what's it, licorice? What's it?
Twizzlers?
Not yeah, you definitely like you tear some Twizzlers up.
Eh,
Nah.
not so much. Like I don't not so big on candy, but like
Okay.
now.
Now I'm talking about back then.
Yeah. What was my candy of choice? I
You
definitely like those lollipops that tasted like water, that looked and tasted like watermelon. And I also enjoy making rock candy. I
oh,
learned at school and always made rock candy at home, which was
okay.
like a cool science project. And then I got to go into a cave and see stalactites and stalagmites, and that was really cool.
Wait, which cave did you go to? Where?
I went spelunking in where I used to go to where I used to live in Asheville, North Carolina. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I feel like it's like Bat Cave or Bat something. If y'all are from North Carolina,
Actually, I've been. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's near
yeah, Wolf
Laurel.
Laurel,
Yeah. Was
Wolf
it like?
Laurel, Wolf Laurel is a ski lodge or
Yeah,
skiing
it's
place.
also another place called Laurel Cove or something like that. I think.
Okay, I might not know that place.
Okay, but I know exactly Batcave what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Can't
and
get any service down there.
no, it was crazy. I was like going through places like that was like this, and we was like had to crawl on our stomachs, and we got to see the albino fish, and we got to see like the water dripping to make the stalactites and It was
Hold on.
cool.
Nah, I'm not about to do this. All right. We talking about the 90s.
Yeah.
Let me get to the let me hold on because I gotta get to some juicy stuff.
Okay.
All right. 90s, 90s Usher or 90s JoJo from Jodeci.
Usher,
All right.
hands down.
All right. All right. And I'm talking about the 90s version of them.
Yeah, Usher.
All right. All right. All right. Cool. She's like, yeah, I didn't trip. I didn't stutter. It's Usher. It's
Yeah,
you.
definitely Usher. Yeah,
Yeah.
for me. For
uh,
me.
all right. Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
Oh, NSYNC. I was a huge
Okay.
NSYNC
I
fan.
was about to use this is the question I judge. This is the one I judge. That
Oh,
one.
I'm NSYNC all the way.
Okay. Okay.
Like
Destiny
super
Child,
fan.
Destiny Child or Escape.
For me, Destiny's Child,
Okay.
because I grew up more, you know, around Destiny's Child
Okay.
more than Escape.
You being like a music lover and whatnot, into like seeing everything and just being around everything, would you rather be an A&R for Bad Boy or be an A&R for who do I want to say? I want to say, oh, I'm gonna okay, A&R for Bad Boy or an A&R for LaFace Records.
Mm,
Two different vibes.
I really like Bad Boy.
Okay.
I do.
All right, Bad Boy or Rockefeller.
Rockefeller.
See, you
Yeah.
know what's up. You know what? Uh, 90s vibes, 90s vibes, 90s vibes. Anything from the 90s that you miss the most, that's you could bring back to this moment right now.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the 90s going into to the 2000s, but basically like shows like TRL, like you get out, you go to
Oh,
school, come home, you go watch TRL, you watch your little music videos. I mean, I know it's more of like the 2000s, but like we was still very much in the 90s to me, like MTV Jams, VH VH1 Soul, MTV
ooh,
Hits, like
VH1 Soul, true, true.
yeah. So I really missed that. But like just being in the 90s, I was really a kid growing up. But I was always listening to like Blackstreet and Mariah Carey and Tony
Yeah.
Braxton, and there was a lot of that going on in my house, along with just being taught how to be a creative. So I really miss that. I really miss just like listening to music on the stereo, loud with your parents. You got to catch the song before you can't hear it again for the next couple of hours or so. So I like that. I do appreciate that about the 90s.
Okay. So what's something about dude men for us? What's something you wish we would what's something you wish we would do that we don't do anymore from the 90s?
I could say men do stuff the same, you know, like like
All right. So it's like, all right, so it's nothing from the 90s like, oh damn, I wish they would still do this from the 90s.
no, I
Uh,
just still feel like a man is a man is a man, and it just depends on like what kind of man you are, you know?
okay.
And I think maybe more things were highlighted back then that were might have been like glorified, such as in like movies and like how love was portrayed, but I just still feel like humans don't really change that much.
Mm, humans don't really change that much. I've been what gives you that what gives you that thought?
Well, because like abuse in marriages has been going on since the beginning of time. Cheating has been going on since like the beginning of time.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's just a way of life. I feel like it's just a
Um,
way like that, like so I don't really know what to say because I just feel like all of that was still going on. I just feel like
yeah.
love was highlighted then, and now what's highlighted is like the darker part of that, but it's highlighted and glorified as like a more positive thing.
Interesting. Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, that's just that's my
I like
opinion.
that perspective. No, I love that. That was an original perspective. At least I
Yeah,
think it
like,
was original.
yeah, it was
Okay,
definitely original. It's
I'm
like
mixed.
the way I think about things. Like, what
Yeah,
would I
that was
change? Well,
original.
it
Yeah.
doesn't seem like there is really anything much to change. It's like you are who you are, and you'll be who you'll be.
Mm. And it's just gonna keep cycling up.
Hmm.
Uh, social media in the 90s, which celebrity or which person or whoever from the 90s, they have social media, you laughing like, oh my gosh. This person with oh, two different platforms though. First off, this person with Twitter, oh my gosh. This person with Instagram, you know they killing it.
Let's say Martin Lawrence has Instagram and Bernie Mac has Twitter.
Interest interesting. But Martin
Really?
Lawrence is he's on Instagram now. What's the difference? What do you see the difference?
I just feel like Bernie Mac could type up some funny-ish on
No, I'm
Twitter.
talking Martin Lawrence on Instagram. What would be the difference back then?
Oh, like if he had Instagram back then, he was just like in his prime for, working with like, Biggie. He had like a dope show that was just like,
True.
it was just like crazy. Like, I feel like he wouldn't be making some dope content. He would be like, "What's up? What's up? What's up?"
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
just like and
Facts.
him posting reels like that, he would be going crazy. Like he would be like the most influential person on Instagram to me.
Over Jamie Foxx.
They would definitely be in competition because I was thinking that in my head, but like
Yeah,
yeah.
that's tough. That's tough. Dang. Then Will probably might be even more. Like I know he laying low right now, but he was killing it on Graham at this age. In the 90s, him on the ground, that might be a
Oh
little.
man. And he was into fashion, like he was like
Ah,
the
yeah,
Fresh
yeah,
Prince. So
yeah,
it would have definitely given like they all would have given their different vibes, and I would have
exactly.
followed all of them just for what they brought to the table because having if we had Instagram in the freaking 90s,
Oh my gosh.
that would have been crazy. Like I really would have loved to see them
The
post
fact,
reels and
yes, yes,
new
yeah.
shows coming out. We got a reel of Martin Lawrence new episode. Like I can share this to my story.
That's wild. That's
Yeah.
wild. Bernie Mac tweeting would be some funny stuff.
Yeah. He would be very funny on Twitter.
Yeah.
What he say? Something America. What he would say on his show?
Oh yeah. what did he say? Good morning. It was something he would say to
I don't
America.
know, something
Yeah, I
America,
know
but
that
he
one
used to
joke
be
where he talked about the baby going down to get some cookies.
oh
Let's
some
get
milk and cookies.
some cookies. Yeah.
I
Let's
want
get
some
some
milk
cookies.
and cookies.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
that's like definitely yeah, he's a legend for
Michael
sure.
Jackson on social media. What does that look like?
Nah, he's gonna teach us dance moves. So he's gonna be like,
Ooh,
today we're gonna teach you. We're at rehearse because he is
today.
good for giving you behind the scenes. Like he'll create a movie type deal for you, like, and he'll take you with him on his journey. So for
Yeah.
me, I think Michael would like do some cool stuff, like be like, all right, today y'all, we're gonna learn how to moonwalk. And then he gonna be like 5, 6, 7, 8, you know what I'm saying? Or
Yo,
he's gonna be like, he gonna be like, if you guys are entertainers, I just want to tell you, you don't put blue light on black people. He just gonna be dropping gems.
yeah, he would be drunk.
Yeah,
Prince wouldn't be
and
on social media.
no, and if he did, he would just have one picture with his ass out.
It would it would be that. I do believe he would have a Finsta. I do believe Prince would have a Finsta.
He would have a Finsta.
Best believe it.
Oh
Best believe it.
shoot,
Best
I
believe
feel
it.
like he would be on Facebook.
Really?
Do you, and I think yeah, I do.
He gives
I
me
think
Tumblr vibes.
Tumblr vibes. I don't know, cause see, I'm more of a Michael fan than I am Prince, but I know people would eat you up about that. But I like Michael.
Yeah.
I was a Michael fan. Were you a Michael fan or a Prince fan?
All right, so for two different reasons though, for two different things.
Uh huh.
Just as an artist, as like a musician, Prince, just because of what he can play and her coming from under his camp, like so many people, like just how I thought of him as a business, how he went against they both rebels, the way
Mm-hmm.
they just did it in different ways. And I love that. Like at the end of the day, like Prince, he just was his own, just as art, he just was his own sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, I love Michael because he was so like he was just he owned so many people catalogs. Like he owned the
Right.
Beatles, he owned Beyonce. Like he don't even people don't know he owned Beyonce catalog. Like he owned so many, he owned almost I forgot the percentage, but the percentage was so high of Sony's catalog that he owned, which is, that gets into other reasons of his passing. But I like him for two different reasons. Like Michael, obviously, just when it comes to singing, what Michael does vocally now, singing, it's like he could take you to class because of how he could. Michael was a singer, a poet, like he did visual, like I remember seeing him do visual art. Like Michael was different. And bro,
I
Michael
really like how
he
he
was
got with Chris Tucker because Chris Tucker was
oh
just
yes.
amazing and could imitate him so well. So I really enjoyed seeing like "You Rock My World," the short video or the short
Yeah.
film for that. I loved the Thriller video. I just love like I loved his visuals.
Which video do you, if you could have be cameo in any video, which Michael Jackson video are you popping up in?
If I had to choose, this isn't my favorite song, but for the video, I want to be the girl in "You Rock My World" because he
Ooh,
was fighting for her. He was
okay.
literally fighting like all the people, just like
Yeah.
trying to get his girl. And like, baby, I want you to fight for me.
Mm, I
So
feel that. I feel that.
if I can even just act like that, you know what I'm saying? But like, I liked it. Like, it's not even about being the pretty girl, but I just liked like how he was fighting for her against
Nah, I
everything.
feel
And it
that.
reminds me of the Chris Brown video. I'm sure he kind of was inspired by that. But
I see
Fine China,
that. Well, I think that is a spin. Like that is basically from that. Yeah,
right?
that's definitely from that. Like if you look at the videos, put them side by side.
Yeah, he's
I think he,
definitely like, need my girl, gonna whoop your ass if you don't.
yeah.
If you don't move out of my way, he was gonna whoop on her dad. Like, geez, man.
Michael was always fighting somebody in his videos. Beat it. You could throw a bunch of those smooth criminal. Like
Thriller.
actually, Michael was fight always kicking some ass. Now I think about it, Michael was always kicking some ass. This is this is like the deluxe version of this whole experience. While you do what you do, I'm just gonna fill in some buffer. Like this is the deluxe version of the Aja Cobbs experience. Like I
Absolutely.
feel like this is like a whole.
This is how I feel right now being
I
here.
wasn't even gonna bring him into the picture when I was asking the shows earlier because I knew he would win. I knew he would win. I knew
Oh
he would win.
yes.
That's why I would. That's why I was like, I'm staying away from Mister. Uh,
SpongeBob.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Mister SquarePants.
I love that. That's like my ultimate thing. Like I will be asking people like I will reference like SpongeBob hands down. Just yeah. I'm happy you didn't do that to me. I'm happy
Wait,
you didn't do that.
didn't do it.
About like when you were like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, 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 nah. I saved you. I saved you, and I was like, nah.
yeah.
Let me put that one to the side because I don't know. SpongeBob is in his own lane, really. Like it's nothing really. It's like SpongeBob is SpongeBob. It's in its own. The only thing I would even,
SpongeBob is the Beyonce of the cartoons. To me. He
I think
came in and
SpongeBob would even
Beyonce.
say that. I think he would say that.
You think I'm the Beyonce?
Yeah, I am Beyonce.
I am Beyonce and
He was-
I'm ready. Yeah.
Sandy
You
would
do
be
that
like,
shit good.
"Yeah, Sponge, you are." Yeah. Only thing I would put, and this crosses genres. Only thing I would say is South Park would take out SpongeBob.
Oh, now that is very influential. Definitely.
South
So
Park
look,
basically just predicts our whole futures. I'm wishing much success. Is this? Do you already have your event plan that's going to be after this one? Do you already have it, or can
I
you
am
announce?
planning something very
Okay,
special, and I think that you would be very excited about it.
okay,
I think
okay,
you'll be very excited about the location, what it is, and I think you probably want to get involved.
okay. That's a very. You said a lot without saying a lot,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna pick up on the subtleties.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna figure. Well,
Yeah.
I'm wishing much success. Like I'm really grateful and thankful that you could join me and talk about this and I could promote this and that we could just continue to collaborate and continue just support each other as artists. I always appreciate your support and I always appreciate your words. It means a lot because in this time of age and especially in this field that we do, finding real ones is tough. So hey, let's keep staying real and just staying inspired and staying empowered on our journey.
Thank you so much for the interview. By the way, I just want to drop really quick and say that the Motown Philly show back again is going to be hosted at Neve Creative Studio, which is actually in Lansdowne, but it's like 10 minutes outside of Philly. We had a little incident where we couldn't have it in Philly, but we found this amazing Black owned venue called Neve Creative Studio, where they had supported my Water Ice show, and they are also going to be supporting this coming up show. And we have some amazing artists, visual artists. We have some vegan food vendors, like stage DJ, like it's really like you need to be there for real. And tickets are $10 right now, early bird tickets, and then at the door it's gonna be 15. So if you want to go to Aja Cobbs, AJACOBBS on Instagram or at the Art Trap House on Instagram. And you can find all the information that you need there. And I also want to give a big shout out to Lee and Life is Poetic interviews and conversations. I really enjoy the way that he works with creatives. I really love what he does for the community. He has his fashion line, he has his poetry, he has his music, he has his business, and he is a boss. And I just want to say thank you so much for serving us back, and it feels so good to be here and to be honored,
Thank
and
you,
I honor
thank
you
you,
back as well, so thank you so
thank
much.
you. For sure, for sure. And lastly, you told them where to follow you. However, I just want to tell this to everyone. Even sometimes I know we say we can't go somewhere physically. If you have the capability, still buy a ticket. Still just buy a ticket in honor of support. So I just want to put that out there because some people may say, "Oh man, I see it's happening." Still buy a ticket. Still just buy a ticket. You may know somebody, if you know somebody in the area, and say, "Hey, I know this is an amazing art show going on. I'll buy your ticket for you to go or just pass it along." So I think it's important to say because sometimes we feel like, oh, I can't support because I'm not there. No, you still can support. You still can reach. You still can share. You still can save it and create an events folder on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, create an events folder and save it. That way, you can find it. So I just want to say that. And
Yeah, there's so many ways you can you there's so many ways you can support: liking, sharing, tagging us, and tagging your friends, all of that. And also, one last thing I just want to say for Lee and any other creative, like, pay attention. Like, our journeys, like, we post very intricate things and intentional things on Instagram for you to be able to follow our journey and know who we are. And so I like for people to know who I am genuinely and know about my business and know what we offer. And I know Lee does too. So, if you see his stuff and you see what we doing, like it, comment, and just please help us. Like, we're brown. Y'all already know what it
Y'all know what's going on, and these
is.
platforms
Y'all know what
playing
it
with
is.
us too. Even though we're the top creators and top curators on these platforms, they still playing with us. So, hey, but thank you, much success. We're gonna talk and keep doing. You
Yes.
keep glowing over there.
Thank you so much.
All
Thank
right,
you.
peace.
Peace.